Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Tuesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and it was supposed to be such a beautiful day here in Western Pennsylvania. Today at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were scheduled to have their first padded practice of training camp 2025. That means lots of physicality. We get to have a legit evaluation of defensive and offensive line, backs on backers, maybe even a little bit of wide receiver versus defensive back drills. We were supposed to have so much to talk about, and then Mother Nature had to go and ruin it. Practice at St. Vincent College in Latrobe today rained out. Practice was scheduled to start at, I believe, 2 o'clock or around then, and we were supposed to see all of that, but then thunderstorms roll through the area, practice gets moved inside, fans go home, and we don't have really anything to talk about. We will talk about what little news there is with the Steelers in relation to that situation here to kick off the show. But the big topic of today's stream, we are going to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates, not just what they did last night, sneaking out a late night victory over the San Francisco Giants, but also rumors regarding trades, who the Pirates are going to trade off. Those are swirling right now. Rumors surrounding two players in particular, I believe, are at a fever pitch. All of that and much more coming up throughout the stream tonight. First notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this live stream, as well as leave a comment in the chat just like this. Any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have, get those in there. I can pop those up on the screen at a moment's notice, and we can interact that way. I appreciate it when you do so. Also, go give the channel a follow on the following social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and X at Steel City SR. And be sure to tune back into the channel and the social media channels later this evening for a new edition of SCSR60, something new that we are trying here on the channel, getting all the major news stories surrounding Pittsburgh sports in a video, 60 seconds or less. Like I said, we are going to kick off today. Was originally going to spend probably a good half hour of the live stream here tonight talking about this Steelers training camp and their first padded practice. Things were business as usual to start off the day at St. Vincent College. Corey Trice, Steelers CB4 right now. If I had to, guess where he is on the depth chart behind Joey Porter Jr., Jalen Ramsey, and Darius Slay. Trice spoke, said that he was feeling super healthy. First time we've heard from him this training camp. Also said that he trained with TJ Watt to study his training habits in the offseason. Hopefully that does, well for him to where he can make it through the entire season without any sort of hiccup or injury. Also, one guy who was very excited to put the pads on and get physical today, inside linebacker Peyton Wilson, looking for him to have a breakout year. He will be in a elevated role with the departure of Landon Roberts. He said that, he was happy to play some daggum football and, really start popping pads. Also said, addressed, the Steelers defense and how they slumped off near the end of last year. Said everyone knows what happened at the end of last year, communication and stuff. You see us flying around a lot more in this camp just because of the communication. Great to see that second year defense, even though it's got a couple of new parts. Some guys who came in last year, they now know all the terminology and their communication is better. Jonnu Smith, again, healthy after a slow training camp start for him. He was out there on the jugs machine before practice, along with a couple other players. And I guess right when practice was about to begin, Steelers began a walkthrough. No Broderick Jones today. Dealing with a groin injury, had his groin wrapped at the end of Sunday's practice. Was wondering, if that was going to keep him from practicing at all. Was not going to dress and practice today. So Calvin Anderson, the top backup tackle for the Steelers, they're very thin at that position. He was taking left tackle snaps. Also, there was an interesting, lineup in the walkthrough. There was a tackle over formation, according to Mike DeVabo of The Athletic, where both right tackle Troy Fautanu and Calvin Anderson, who is filling in as the left tackle for today, they both lined up on the right side with Darnell Washington lined up next to the guard on the left side of the formation. So Washington next to Spencer Anderson, who of course is still filling in for an injured Isaac Seumalo, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, the right guard, Troy Fautanu, the right tackle, and then Calvin Anderson, I guess, as a swing tackle here. I don't know. But that was interesting. Would have loved to see how that would have played out through practice. But then, as you can see there on the banner, storms rolled through St. Vincent College. Players ran back up the hill to the buildings, and they evacuated the field. Fans were then told over the PA system at the fields to seek shelter in the vehicles. About half an hour after that, practice was officially moved indoors, and campus was closed to the fans. The Steelers did also confirm practice will resume as normal tomorrow, with the practice today moving indoors, which we haven't heard anything on what they did inside yet. No pads, of course. No backs on backers, any sort of that thing today. So we'll have to wait just a little bit more. All of us were excited to see this all go down, really start giving real judgments and real evaluations of guys, and them not just, practicing in shorts and a t-shirt. So that kind of stinks. We'll have to see what all goes on tomorrow, if they double down on their practice and whatnot. We did hear from Mike Tomlin, though, said he has not considered changing practice times to beat the weather, both talking about beating the rain, which Steelers have had a couple of their practices cut short because of rain thus far. Also, I think a lot of people complaining about the heat. I know in Western Pennsylvania, where I live, heat has been bad over the past couple of days, and I think tomorrow it's supposed to be a pretty hot one there, and lots of people, reporters, players alike, I think fans even, they're complaining about it. However, Tomlin said not going to change things quite yet. Quote, we had to adjust and adapt today, but I'm not ready to make wholesale changes. So business as usual tomorrow, a 1:55 start time in the sweltering heat for all involved at training camp tomorrow. Also, Tomlin talked about a couple other things, said that Calvin Austin III will once again be the team's punt returner, just like last year. I agree with that wholeheartedly, even though he has yet to really break off a big one, or I think return. No, he did return one for a touchdown last year. So cancel out what I just said. Calvin Austin, again, being the team's punt returner, easy decision there. However, kick return, we've seen a bunch of people in training camp thus far take, kicks and kick returns. So there is a competition going on right there. Tomlin said that Jalen Warren, who did do that job last year, and Kenneth Gainwell, those are two candidates. Gainwell was a kick returner in Philadelphia. However, a couple other interesting names here. Caleb Johnson, didn't know that he had this capability to his game, or maybe they're seeing if he does have it. He'd be an interesting candidate. Also, Roman Wilson is being tried out as a kick returner. Not just that, he also, Tomlin said, is taking some punts and is getting some gunner work on special teams. So expect Roman Wilson to be a big piece of the special teams unit this year. And last thing that Tomlin talked about, Broderick Jones, we mentioned he was not going to practice today, seemingly. he, quote, should be out there tomorrow, according to Mike Tomlin. So good news. I'm taking that as good news because we need to see Broderick more than ever. Not just moving over to the left tackle spot where he played in college and where he said he's more comfortable. He also has had, I think, a slow and disappointing start to training camp thus far. So with pads on, we need to see, whether him getting beat badly in a couple of drills throughout the first couple practices, was that real or was it an illusion? We'll see. Hopefully that was just an illusion, an anomaly, and that he can be much better when pads go on tomorrow. But that sucks. Training camp getting rained out. So with that, just like the Steelers pivoting to indoors, we are going to pivot here into some baseball talk on the live stream right now. Pittsburgh Pirates in action last night, game 1 of a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants in a West Coast 2-series road trip for them. Interesting lineup for the Pirates last night, and albeit a very bad one by Ben Cherington, year 6 of the rebuild, and the 5 through 8 hitters in last night's lineup were Brian Hayes, Alexander Canario, Liover Peguero, and Henry Davis, all guys who have struggled with the bat at certain points this year. The most interesting part of the lineup last night, Spencer Horwitz, I think he was with the demotion of Jared Triolo to AAA, the last legitimate first baseman on the roster. Liover Peguero playing first base last night, and I think that might be his first professional start at first base. So I thought that was interesting. Into the game itself, Bucs lineup, they were going against Carson Whisenhunt, the top prospect pitcher for the Giants, making his MLB debut. Nick Gonzalez, I guess, still giving us hope that he can be a legitimate bat in the lineup for the Bucs moving forward. Welcomed Whisenhunt to the big leagues. Third batter of the game, a 390-foot home run to left field, gone in every single major league ballpark. Following that, Mitch Keller, rough go of it for him. The Giants tied it up. Matt Chapman, their third baseman, hit a ball down the right field line, and I guess Alexander Canario lost a ball in the sun there briefly, dove for it. It got past him to the wall. Run came around to score, tied the ball game up at 1. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Tommy Pham, then they got the Pirates back the lead in big fashion in the top of the second inning. IKF plates 2 with a double, continuing to raise his trade stock, and Tommy Pham did likewise, raising his trade stock, staying red hot ever since his eye situation got fixed. An RBI single into right field, bringing home Kiner-Falefa. Keller back out there for the bottom of the second inning, gave up a double to second baseman Brett Wisely. One run scored there, and the Giants still had 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. A run was saved, I believe, with Liover Peguero making a diving catch on a little, shank pop in the infield. An impressive play for him, getting his first start at a new position. However, Giants did get another run across, made it 4-3, and that was all for Mitch Keller. 73 pitches through just 2 innings. That was all that Donnie Kelly wanted to see from him, pulled him. It was a bullpen game from there on out. Genesis Cabrera came in, had a scoreless inning. Yohan Ramirez, he then came in as well. He gave up a run. That made it 4-4. We continued on. Clark Whisenhunt and Mitch Keller out of the game at this point. Bottom of the 7th inning, tie ball game at 4 in his old stadium. Well, his home is Pittsburgh, but in a stadium that he is all too familiar with because that is where the Pirates traded him so many years ago. Andrew McCutchen, still clutch as ever. What is he, 37 years old at this point? A 2-run shot to left field and gave the Pirates the lead. But also, I see this stat and people, want to debate, is Andrew McCutchen a Hall of Famer? When you are in company like this for this stat, I think we got to give Kutch maybe I guarantee you not a first ballot Hall of Famer Kutchin is, but does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame someday for longevity and for being on this list of players and what they have accomplished? I agree and think that he should be in Cooperstown one day. McCutchen, with that home run last night, now one of 11 players all time in MLB history to reach the 10 home run mark in their first 17 seasons. You see the list of players he joins here. Very notable and legendary names in the history of baseball. Hank Aaron, Eddie Murphy, Carl Yastrzemski, Barry Bonds, Pirates legend, Albert Pujols, Frank Robertson, Harold Baines, Mickey Mantle, Jeff Kent, and a former Giant, Willie McCovey. So, yeah, cool feat there by Andrew McCutchen. Congratulations to him on reaching that feat. And that was what the Pirates needed because then bottom of the ninth, David Bednar on to close it out. Did give up a run, but then was able to strand the go-ahead runs on base. Pirates win at 6-5. Kutch and Gonzo go yard. Bullpen took over for Mitch Keller after a very rocky start for him with the trade deadline approaching. And David Bednar now, I hope with what I'm about to talk about next, he does not go anywhere. 17 for 17 in save situations in his last 17 save situations. Pirates have now won 6 of their last 7. Talk me off the ledge, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let those Buccos get hot. I know I'm being delusional, but hey, 6-7 for as bad as this team has been this year. Got to, celebrate the little victories like that. Now watch, 6 out of 7 wins. Now they're probably going to go into a slump here, with the rest of the season coming up here after Thursday's trade deadline. Speaking of Thursday's trade deadline, I wanted to get into that right now real quick, wrap up the top 3 stories of the show here today. Trade rumors, especially this afternoon, are at a fever pitch right now surrounding the Buccos. Recapping what went down yesterday in the back half of the live stream, John Parado, MLB insider for Pittsburgh Baseball Now, said that David Bednar, a bidding war is being waged right now for David Bednar. Teams like the Tigers, Phillies, Texas Rangers, and Chicago Cubs are bidding for Bednar services. More on Bednar today. 7 hours ago, John Morosi of MLB Network, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Pirates, they have discussed trade possibilities that involve a reliever going to Toronto. Of course, Bednar not the only reliever said to be available by the Bucs right now. Dennis Santana included along with Bednar. So those two available. The Blue Jays and Pirates have talked about a possible trade. Will that continue, though? Because we have some breaking news. This happened, I believe, just a couple minutes before I went live, now 51 minutes ago. The Blue Jays, they have acquired Sir Anthony Dominguez, a right-handed reliever from the Baltimore Orioles, for right-handed pitching prospect Warren Watts Brown. That is a top 10 prospect in their system. So, Blue Jays now. I wonder if, the Pirates set their price on Bednar too high. Noah Hiles of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette said that the Pirates, at a minimum for Bednar, want a top 5 prospect from an organization. So wonder if that turned off the Blue Jays from pursuing Bednar or Santana. However, Mark Feinsand as well chiming in on the trade of the Blue Jays and Orioles. The Jays, they are not done. They are still firmly in the hunt for another reliever. Closer Ryan Helsley of the Cardinals is who he mentioned in that post. But you got to wonder if Dennis Santana and David Bednar are also still of their interest. Moving along here with some other trade rumors that have come across today. Mitch Keller, could his market be skyrocketing here? Jim Bowden, an MLB analyst and insider for CBS Sports and The Athletic, said that Sandy Alcantara, right-handed pitcher for the Miami Marlins, former Cy Young winner, his market has drastically picked up over the past couple of hours. With that, Alcantara is on the move somewhere. That then would make Mitch Keller the top pitching our pitcher, starting pitcher that is available. I think the price is set high on him, and the Pirates right now, they should not move off of it because of what I'm about to read here in a moment. Bowden again chimed in a couple of hours ago. David Bednar and Ryan Helsley, they are leading the reliever market right now. The Phillies, Mets, Dodgers, Tigers, Mariners, and Rangers are all in play for them. And then final piece of information here on David Bednar today. The Yankees have had serious discussions with the Pirates for Bednar, but there is a real gap in the talks per MLB Insider for MLB Network and the New York Post, John Heyman. On top of that, I'm sure the Yankees and all those teams, they could use some starting pitching help as well. Mitch Keller, David Bednar. That to me, reading all the reports right now, this is a lot of smoke, so I'm assuming that there is a fire and some realness to all of these reports and rumors from these big national insiders. If Keller and Bednar are taking heavy interest from all these teams and there is a legitimate bidding war for them, Ben Cherington, I absolutely despise that you are still the Pirates general manager. I despise that you weren't fired with Derek Shelton. I despise that you ran and did the draft, and I despise that you're going to oversee this trade deadline. However, you should be fired regardless of what happens this offseason. But if you want to go out on the smallest of high note that you possibly can, because really over the 10 you've had, it sucked. There's no making repentance for it. If you want to go out on some semblance of positivity with this fan base, we would appreciate it if you don't move Mitch Keller or David Bednar. That's at least my opinion. Leave those big decisions for someone, a new GM who is, I guarantee you, probably going to do better than you and be smarter than you with, baseball moves. But if you are going to trade Bednar and Keller, looking at the market right now and how, heavy teams are going after them, do not settle for anything less than the highest possible return that you can get. I'm talking about a hitter, a legit major league hitter, and a top 5 prospect of an organization for Keller and or Bednar. Do not move off of them. Do not move them for moving's sake. Do not move for them. Don't, compromise to what they want. If you hang on to them, you hang on to them. I don't care. But I'm talking like if say the Boston Red Sox have interest in Keller, I want Jarren Duran and one of their top prospects. If the Yankees want David Bednar, okay, give me Spencer Jones and screw it. This guy's having a terrible year, but if you get Spencer Jones, then I'll bite the bullet on this. Anthony Volpe, their shortstop, who at one time looked decent, this year having a down year. Just please do not settle for anything less than what you deserve, which you deserve a lot for Mitch Keller and David Bednar, and even Dennis Santana for that part. I don't want to forget him in this whole thing because he has been an underrated reliever in the league for a good solid year now. So that's the latest on the trade rumors. Do want to note to all of you in here right now, we'll be live on Thursday a little bit earlier than usual, and it will not be your typical live stream. Probably going to go live maybe around and somewhere in between 4 and 5 o'clock, maybe 4:30. We will be live for the last couple hours of the MLB trade deadline. That is when the Pirates do their most work and get trades done. So we will be on from somewhere between 4 and 5 to a little bit after 6, recap all the MLB trades that come across the pike. And we will also discuss any other news for the day that comes across then. So hope you join me back here for them. But that is the latest in Pirates trade rumors. A deal is coming. Will there be a bunch of trades? I don't know, but right now something massive is in the works. I would not be surprised in any which way this deadline goes. You could see all three of Keller, Bednar, and Santana moved along with your usual suspects that are going to be gone: Tommy Pham, Andrew Heaney, maybe even Caleb Ferguson, or aside from those guys on one-year deals who are guaranteed to be gone, I would not be surprised if Santana, Keller, and Bednar stay. So it'll be a very interesting next 48 hours for this team and what direction they will head in for the deadline and for the foreseeable future. 6 of you in here, welcome to the stream. We are going to get into the extra sort of hodgepodge, loose end stories, news stories that we can't get into deep on here in a minute. Do want to remind you all to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Turn on notifications. Also, leave a like, share this live stream, and comment in the live comment section. I can pop up what goes on there at a moment's notice, and we can interact that way. Going to real quick take a stroll here through Twitter, see if we have any new news that has happened since we have been live here. A crazy trade rumor about the Bucs here that I am seeing. This was from, I believe, this morning. Andrew Filipponi of 93.7 The Fan. A crazy trade rumor. The Tampa Bay Rays have expressed interest in Jack Suwinski. I would usually, with Suwinski, say any team that wants him at this point, I will personally drive Suwinski to whatever city acquires him. However, trading Suwinski to the Tampa Bay Rays, that terrifies me. Why? Because the Rays, they have abused the Pirates on the trade market for years, and I have full confidence that they will turn Jack Suwinski back into at least some form of what he was, which is a player with the potential of hitting 30 home runs in a season. Suwinski this year hitting 109 with 1 home run. Yeah, if we ship him to Tampa, that is really going to that's really going to yeah, that's gonna be terrible. He's gonna turn it around there. I don't know what to say. Would he be good that he's off the team? Yes, but also will he turn back into what he once was, which I believe he hit 26, 27 homers a couple years ago. Yeah, he will turn back into that upon reaching warmer climates. Okay, going to get into the more Pittsburgh sports news segment right now. Let's get back into football right now. Even though practice was canceled today, the Steelers, they did make a handful of roster moves. They waived 2 players with injury designations today. Wide receiver Montana Lamonius Craig, just an awesome name. I think a lot of people took a liking to him because he had that cool name. He is now gone. Also gone and being waived with an injury designation. Outside linebacker Jeremiah Moon, former Baltimore Raven, would have been competing, would have been fighting a hell of an uphill battle this training camp. I think he was clear-cut the outside linebacker number 5 on the Steelers depth chart behind TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and Jack Sawyer. So he would have been fighting a hell of a battle to remain on the team and make the 53-man roster. His best chance would have been as a special teamer, but now he is gone. To fill those 2 spots, the Steelers, they did sign tight end Kevin Folsch and running back Lou Nichols III. have heard at least a tiny bit of that Lou Nichols. However, tight end Kevin Folsch, no idea who that guy is. They did also re-sign defensive tackle Dominique Davis, who was released earlier this training camp. So those are the roster moves that the Steelers have made. In the coming weeks here, we will then begin to see some training camp cuts being made, but those were the transactions that were made this morning. Also, moving from Steelers training camp over to some training camps of teams in the division, injuries keep striking. Baltimore Ravens, they had a big injury today. According to Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, tight end Isaiah Likely was carted to the locker room at the end of Ravens practice today with a lower leg injury. Harbaugh described it as likely rolling his ankle and is now expected to miss a few weeks. I think this is something that Likely will be able to recover from fully, but yikes. That's a big blow to the Ravens offense. I'm not going to lie. Likely, I think we can clearly say that he has taken over the tight end 1 spot over Mark Andrews, who had a down year last year. Also, over the past couple of years, Likely has been a top target in the Ravens offense for Lamar Jackson. If he's going to miss, regular season time, that could be a big blow to the Ravens offense. Also, you got to wonder, an injury in training camp, is that going to affect him throughout the year and hamper him when it comes time to the Steelers? When it comes time to the Ravens and Steelers meeting, that will be a big blow there. Even a bigger blow, let's go from Ravens camp to Browns camp. Corner Martin Emerson. I think just like the Steelers, how they have a solid, I think at least, corner trio in Ramsey, Porter, and Slay. The Browns, they also have a solid corner trio, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and Martin Emerson. That trio's down to 2 now. Emerson down in practice. Cart took him off the field. Now an hour ago, Mike Garafolo, NFL insider for NFL Network. Emerson suffering what is described as an Achilles injury. He will undergo imaging to determine the full extent of the injury, but the expectation is that it is significant. So you hear Achilles, significant injury. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Martin Emerson out for the year, or at least a majority of the year for the Cleveland Browns. A decent blow to their defense. That's like the Steelers losing Porter Jr. right now, or maybe Darius Slay. I don't know. But those are the what's going on the injury front in a Browns and Ravens camp. Before I continue on here, let's go to the comment section. Flacco, welcome back, Flacco. Salutes, driving home, but I'm here. Appreciate it, Flacco, as always. I'm sad about the 2 cuts, but we have to cut someone. Yeah, injuries. An unfortunate part of training camp. Really, I'm going out on a limb here. Have we heard about a ton of injuries? Have we ever seen this, many injuries in training camps this early before? I mean, I'm just trying to think here. Kenny Pickett out for Cleveland now with Martin Emerson joining him. Isaiah Likely, and there's been a handful of injuries in other training camps as well. Thankfully, though, I mean, Broderick Jones and Isaac Seumalo, those would be 2 massive blows to the offensive line. If what their injuries, if it hampers them throughout the year. But aside from those 2, Steelers have been kind of blessed thus far with, not any super crushing injuries to speak of so far in training camp. No like Jalen Ramsey, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, nothing like that has been reported thus far. So that's good. Damn it. I got Likely in all my drafts, but that's good for our team. Yeah. I mean, rolling an ankle, couple weeks. If I had to guess, you don't see Isaiah Likely in preseason now. Probably will be a week 1 show up in shake some rust off then. So sorry for your fantasy teams, but yeah, if Isaiah Likely is less than 100% when the Steelers face them, good news for the Steelers. Now, would I like the Steelers to beat the Ravens at 100% health? Yeah, but fortunately, football, not everyone's going to be 100% all the time. So we'll monitor that situation and the Martin Emerson situation. Moving on with two other football stories here. Congratulations, hell of a career in the Bucs for Nate Herbig, Nick Herbig's brother. Nate, his brother, who was the offensive lineman Steelers brought in 2 years ago, was supposed to be on the team last year, but then he got injured and missed the entire season. He signed with the Commanders this offseason. However, he announced that he has retired. Didn't have, a starter caliber career. Had a little bit of success with the Philadelphia Eagles, but hey, think he's made, a decent chunk of change. Also got to play with his brother for a couple of years. Congratulations to him. Hopefully he has success in whatever he does post-playing career. Last football news story here, and you never want to talk about these kinds of things. My heart and sympathies and prayers go out to everyone who was involved and present for the situation up in New York yesterday. If you don't know, last night, I think a little bit after I was done streaming, developing story came out that there was an active shooter at the building where NFL headquarters are located up in New York. I think this person who was the shooter was looking to get up into NFL headquarters somewhere in the building, ended up shooting and killing a couple of people, including a police officer, and then the shooter took his own life. Also, the shooter, I believe, had a note in his pocket that said he was suffering from CTE and that his brain needed to be studied. But, that's no excuse. Terrible person, committed these terrible acts and then took the coward's way out. Just prayers to everyone involved, the victims and their families, and hopefully, stuff doesn't happen like this ever again. And yeah. Moving from football back into baseball here for a second. Paul Skenes. I missed this quote yesterday. Apparently, this was a quote after the Bucs Sunday game in which they won. Skenes talking about the Pirates and the state of the team. He was asked a question by 93.7 The Fans, Dan Zangrilli, on whether the Pirates were close or far away from winning. Skenes dropping a damn good quote here. And I quote, "I would argue both to an extent, because we are very close, but we need to consciously and intentionally make moves to get us better. That's something we might have been a victim of in the offseason a little bit, because we have guys that can get better on the pitching side and offensively. But that seemed to be the goal and the outlook during the offseason. There are some guys that can get better and will get better, but we have to make it happen. Obviously, going out there and trading for guys, signing guys, who knows from there. But I think it's something we have to be conscious and intentional about." I take at least the beginning part of that quote. Then he maybe sort of, backtracked a little bit. Skenes sending subtle jabs the way of general manager Ben Cherington and owner Bob Nutting. Because we are very close, we need to consciously and intentionally make moves to get us better. We might have been a victim of that in the offseason a little bit. I take that as Skenes. I'll give credit to Paul. genuine, nice guy. Also, he seems like the guy where he's very careful with his words. He'll rock the boat, but he's not going to make it, too obvious, go out there and roast everyone, on the spot. However, that right there tells me he's a little pissed at the Pirates offseason, and rightfully so. I mean, all of us are pissed at the offseason. He right now, I think, Skenes, is realizing, like, okay, I am a dog in this league. I'm the top guy, and Skenes, I think, wholeheartedly means it when he says he wants to win here in Pittsburgh. That is him saying, yo, let's get our stuff together here. I want to win here in Pittsburgh. Also, I think Skenes, in the back of his brain, realizes that MLB, in the current economics of Major League Baseball, we're going to be heading for a full-on fledged war between the MLB and MLBPA in 2027. If I had to guess right here what's going to happen, I'm going to say this time, 2 years from now, you and we aren't going to be talking about baseball on the field at all, because we are heading for a full season lockout. But back to Skenes here. I think he realizes, hey, for as long as I'm here in Pittsburgh, you guys should be building around me. And that was him saying, we fell victim to a terrible offseason, and we need to intentionally and consciously get better. That's telling Bob Nutting, hey, pony up some more money or get the hell out, or I'll get the hell out. Cherington, quit being such a dunce. You had at least a tiny bit of money to play with this offseason, and instead of putting $5 million more into a player contract, which, you could have brought in someone better other than Tommy Pham or Spencer Horwitz. No shot at Horwitz here. He's okay, but you could have gone out and got something better than Tommy Pham for the first half of the season. Could have gone and done better than Adam Frazier, who still perplexed why the hell he was even here. Instead of putting putting $5 million into nerds with analytics and spreadsheets, which that's what he did, go spend that and much more into offense this offseason, and let's get over the hump here and start, at least being in contention once we hit the later stages of July here. So I like that quote from Skenes. I think this has been a gradual increase from him in, what he's saying. Finally, getting out there. Hey, I know I'm the guy now. Let's go build around me here, and we'll get to the promised land. I'll carry you most of the way here, but you got to help me a little to help you. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting quote from Skenes. Moving from one Pirates legend to another Pirate legend, didn't get to see it come out or it end the right way. Rich Hill, Pirates pitcher, the ultimate immaculate grid candidate, DFA'd today by the Kansas City Royals. That's I can't believe, I'll give him credit. I never thought 45 years old he'd still be pitching in the big leagues, but hey, congratulations to him on a fantastic major league career. Now that he's DFA'd, I think he's done. But just thought that was worth mentioned. He made one cameo appearance with the Royals. I'm going to take that as his swan song. Moving from Hill here, who I think will make the Hall of Fame one day as a pitcher. Another Hall of Famer, not Pirates news, but going to say it on here. One of the greatest players in baseball history passed away yesterday. Chicago Cub legend, among a couple of other teams, Ryne Sandberg, passed away at the age of 65 to cancer. Rest in peace to Ryne Sandberg. My condolences to his family, friends, and fans. And rest in peace to him. Hopefully everything, it will be all right with him and his family. Moving on to another baseball topic here. Cleveland Guardians. This has nothing to do with the Pirates. It started with a former Pirate. Luis Ortiz was put on the non-disciplinary paid leave list for sports betting. Yesterday, Emmanuel Clase, their all-star closer and probably the best closer in the big leagues, he too was placed on the non-disciplinary paid leave. And sounds like this is far from over. Guardians pitchers, other than Ortiz and Clase, they are being investigated as well. So just wanted to point that out there. Luis Ortiz, we thought that this was just going to be a one-off. Hey, Pirates won the Ortiz trade. They shipped off a gambler who, not incriminating him, not saying that he's done anything wrong yet. This is an open investigation, but right now, starting to tread towards the Pirates winning the Spencer Horwitz-Luis Ortiz trade. But yeah, crazy that, what we thought was just a one-off situation is now spiraled into probably a whole team getting looked at right now. A couple other minor baseball topics right here. We mentioned yesterday Dave Parker finally getting inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Interesting statistic here. The Hall of Fame induction telecast over the weekend, which Parker, one of many legends getting inducted into the Hall, also getting in CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, Billy Wagner, and Dick Allen. That was the most watched Hall of Fame induction telecast since 2019. It peaked at 318,000 viewers, and it averaged out at just under 250,000 viewers. So congratulations to those guys who got inducted in one of the all-time great induction classes in terms of viewership. Two other things here for extra Pirates news. Have no idea where this is, but I love it. There's some boat out there that on the side of it, it says, "Sell the team to Paul Livy and us Yinzers." Like I said, I'm going to pop it up here on screen because this is absolutely hilarious. This doesn't look like, at least from, context clues, around here. I'm seeing all this here in the background. Is this on the Allegheny or the Monongahela or the Ohio? Was this somewhere out in San Francisco, Macovey Bay area? I don't know, but I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. Shout out No Context Pittsburgh for putting that out there. By land with the sell the team chants, by air with the banners flying over the stadium, and now by sea with that right there. Everyone wants Bob Nutting to sell the team. Land, sea, and air. He's getting it from all different directions there. Last Pirate thing here. Mentioned that this guy was being speculated in trade rumors to the Tampa Bay Rays. Jack Sawinski, happy birthday to him today. Maybe out of a year and past couple of years where he has been absolutely atrocious, he can have some birthday magic. Maybe hit a home run or two like he used to do in the past into Macovey Bay tonight. Back to the comments section. Real quick. People are wusses now. We're not building their bodies for tough anymore. Talking about the injuries in the training camps. Yeah, especially for the Steelers. Like, I'm still so damn confused. Mike Tomlin, to begin training camp this year, said, last year we got hit a bunch with soft tissue injuries. And yet again, for the first little bit of training camp this year, soft tissue injuries, problems yet again, still makes me wonder why the hell there wasn't a wholesale change to the strength and conditioning staff, which I'm trying to remember who they are exactly. They were members of Boston College where his son Dino played, the strength and conditioning staff from there. So they brought in a college strength and conditioning crew with no NFL experience. Team was hampered as all hell last year, and same problems are popping up this year. You got to wonder why no changes were made there. That's at least a problem for the Steelers. Glad he wants to win here. Yeah, Skenes, indeed. He does want to win here wholeheartedly. And I've gone over it here. We've every single week, pretty much at this point, I've come on here, and after every Skenes start, we're talking about how well he did. And also, hey, he's the first pitcher since 1902, 1933, 19, however far back you want to go. He's the first pitcher to do some sort of feat. It just continues to piss me off just how much they've wasted him. And rare instances in sports where you can say this player is of absolutely zero fault. It's rare that happens in sports, but I challenge anyone to go and talk to me or any Pirates fans and say, oh, Skenes could have done this better. See, it's not all the Pirates' fault. He's a little at fault too. No, he has done everything perfectly. And he has gone through this absolute crap show thus far with, a file. Now with a smile. Now he's seemingly getting more of his opinion out there, and rightfully so. So hopefully the team, more specifically the general manager for the time being, and the owner, hear him and recognize, hey, we have done a piss poor job, and really we haven't even tried to build around him. Let's try doing it here, at least for next year with the lockout coming up in 2027. Okay, gonna take one last stroll here through Twitter, see if we have any new news going on before we log off for the evening. Seeing something right here from Alex Stumpf, beat writer for the Pirates for MLB.com. Johan Oviedo, his rehab assignment has been transferred to AAA Indianapolis. So that's good news here. Looks like he is on the doorstep of making a big league return. If I had to guess, you might see Oviedo make a start in AAA, and then if I had to guess, he will take Andrew Heaney's spot when he eventually gets moved here between now and Thursday at 6 o'clock. Also, I say that, Oviedo taking Heaney's spot could also, if Keller does get moved, take his spot. That's what sucks about his injury. If you had Oviedo, if he never got injured and you had Keller, assuming Oviedo would have continued on with his great 2023 season, I would have been cool with you moving Keller because, hey, at least you still have that, legitimate second big league pitcher behind Skenes who's has, some experience. But, with Keller getting moved, Oviedo, I can squint and be like, okay, he can just slide in and take over for Keller, but I have to see how he is with, coming off of Tommy John first and foremost. Looking here, John Morosi, MLB insider for MLB Network. The Twins are not done making trades. After yesterday's deal with the Tigers where they shipped off a starting pitcher, the Cubs, Blue Jays, and Dodgers have checked in up there for bullpen arms. So the Pirates do have a tiny bit of competition, possibly selling off bullpen arms. Looking here, Fox Sports here, seeing this for the first time 3 hours ago. 2025 NFL Power Rankings early here via Ralph Vacciano. The Eagles number 1, Ravens 2, Chiefs 3, Steelers up pretty damn high here. It's number 6. The Steelers, according to this guy of Fox Sports Power Rankings here before, any sort of preseason action, the Steelers at 6, just behind the Green Bay Packers and Buffalo Bills, ahead of the Washington Commanders at 7, the Bengals at 8, The Lions at 9, Chargers at 10. They're also ahead of the Buccaneers 11, Rams 12, and Texans 13. So I guarantee you the top 3 AFC North teams in the top 10, according to this Fox NFL on Fox Power Rankings. You wonder where the Cleveland Browns are? 32nd out of 32 teams. Pretty accurate. Yep, don't see any sort of error in that ranking there. Browns at 32. Honestly, though, I put the Browns ahead of the Saints and maybe the Titans for now. But, yeah, still deserving to be way down there. Quarterback competition between Joe Flacco, Shadur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel with a Kenny Pickett on the shelf. That'll put you in that spot. Also, THP, not sure if you're in here. Dallas Cowboys, number 19, behind the Bears and 49ers, ahead of the Jags and Seahawks. Wonder if he'll watch this back later and take any stock in that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looking here, do not see any other bits of news right now. We will have to wait and see if, another 24 hours, see if anything else happens to come across. Real quick, go here to the comment section. Back to Flacco. I don't believe them rankings until I see the offense in pads. Yeah, agreed. Like I said, that is preseason action. That those rankings are coming out there, but still, that's the highest I've ever seen the Steelers being ranked on any of these. But we'll see. Wait and figure out down the line if those rankings will hold up true. With that, I think that's going to do it. We will have, I think, a ton to talk about tomorrow. First, training camp practice in pads for the Steelers will be tomorrow, weather permitting. It should be a nice, hot, and sunny day. So we will talk about that a ton. Also, we'll talk about what the Pirates do tonight. Game 2 out in San Francisco, and we'll see if they make a trade between now and then. If it is a trade of, large circumstances like Bednar, Keller, I will go live for that. If it's, a small trade like what we expect, Tommy Pham, Andrew Heaney, I will table that for tomorrow's live stream. But we'll see what all happens what all goes on over the next 24 hours. And then we'll be back here tomorrow around the same time for another live stream. For the final time, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications if you have not done so already. Like this live stream, leave a comment in the comments section, share this live stream. Be sure to give me a follow on all the other social media platforms as well at Steel City SR, and tune back in later on this evening. The second ever edition of SCSR 60 will be up at some point, hopefully here within the next couple of hours. A 60-second or less video recapping all the top Pittsburgh sports news stories of the day. That'll do it. See you guys back here tomorrow. Like Flacco says right here, be good all. Have a good rest of your Tuesday night. Back here on Wednesday tomorrow, and then Thursday will be a MLB trade deadline live stream. We'll have lots to talk about then. Have a good one. Peace.